Welcome to this week's layout. I'm Anita with beandesigns.com. Let's walk through the steps I took in creating this week's digital scrapbook layout. Here's this week's layout and a sneak peek at next week's. These two pages will work together nicely in my finished album. So let's take a look at what we did for this week. I have a cluster up in the right-hand corner and a cluster in the left-hand corner. Notice I have these guidelines set up, providing a 1/2 inch border from the outer edge. These are not permanent part of the image. They disappear when you export as a JPEG, but they're very good to help me remember not to put anything important within that 1/2 inch border. Anything I put there, say these paper cutouts or this here, is not will not negatively affect my image if they disappear during the printing process. I started by choosing my photos and size. I used the scale and crop tool to get them set up. I used digital paper for the background layer and for these paper cutouts. I put 3 paper cutouts under each set of photos of varying sizes and lengths. And I put in a line of stitching, and then I put a ribbon on and some other elements in my journaling. So let's go ahead and walk through the steps. So I have my image, 3600 by 3600 pixels at a resolution of 300 pixels per inch, which provides us with a 12-inch by 12-inch finished product. Like I mentioned, I have my photos. I cropped this photo and put it into a square over here in my bottom left and put these photos here up in my upper right. I have my background paper, and then I chose 3 other papers from which I want to cut the paper strips that are going to go underneath each of my photo clusters. So I started with 1 copy of each of these that were provided in my digital kit. And once they're in my layout, I will duplicate each one because I want 1 piece of paper from each of the large papers to go under each of my element clusters. This way I can use the crop tool, draw my rectangle, click inside the crop tool to select my size, and just move on to the next layer. Very simple. So we'll just go ahead and duplicate each of the papers, use my crop tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle, make sure that's my layer that's active, and just click inside the highlighted area. New layer active, draw my rectangle, click inside the highlighted area. Move to the next paper, draw my rectangle, click inside the highlighted area. New layer, draw my rectangle, click inside. You see how it works. Once I have my rectangles cut, my paper rectangles cut from my digital paper, I'll add my ribbon and my stitching underneath each of the photos. My kit included some staples, so I went ahead and used the staple to hold my photos onto the page. I brought in 1 copy from my digital kit, and then I duplicated that several times until and moved them around and placed them on my photo in the places I wanted them to be. I also brought in my elements and placed them where I wanted them to be. I created a journaling paper and put my journaling on it. So I used my text tool. I used ink free at 65 pixels to type out my journaling. When I had it all put together, I went through and added dimension. So I duplicated the bottom layer, deleted the center part, and added a multiply mode to what was remaining around the outer edge. I added dimension to all of my paper pieces as well by deleting the inner portion and adding a multiply mode to what was remaining after I duplicated the cut piece. Then I added shadows to all of my elements and I added an inked edge to my photos. Final step, I saved my image in the native XCF format so that all of my layers are maintained in case I want to make any changes. And I also exported this as a JPEG, maintaining the 300 pixels per inch resolution so that I can print it once I'm finished creating all of my 2020 scrapbook pages, put them all into a bound book for my yearbook. I am using 2.10.20 version of the GIMP, which is the latest version at this time when I recorded the video. I will provide the digital kit and font information in the description box, along with any links to my videos that I feel like might be important to you if you were wanting to recreate this layout. Additionally, visit the website www.beandesigns.com to learn how you could get GIMP templates of this layout as well as previous layouts as my gift to you. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you did, please like it and explore Bean Design's YouTube channel for other layout videos as well as tutorials for ways to use GIMP in creating your digital scrapbook pages. While you're there, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified when a new video is released. Bye bye until next week.